Hello, muffins. Okay, so today is December the... That's my daughter. December the...
17th, Mom.
17th. Oh, right. It's my brother's birthday. Happy birthday. God. It's December the 17th, 2013. You guys know that I love to give the date so I can have reference points for when I need to look back from where my journey started. Okay, so today I had my first bariatric surgery support group, and it was at Montefiore Hospital. It started at 9:45, but they gave some grace period because it is so bad outside. Like, it's really snowing really bad. And I really did enjoy the meeting. The group was big. It was like they got more turnout than normal. So we wind up having to go to an auditorium to do the meeting. It was about maybe 50-60 people there in the meeting. All types of backgrounds, shapes, sizes. You can get a lot of information from people. Today they started out talking, giving us 7 tips to avoid overeating during the holidays. This is the holiday season, and this is the most time that we normally gain weight. They had a lot of people there that already had the surgery but still go to support groups. I really did enjoy the support group. At first I was just like kind of bothered, like, ugh, support groups, you know. I just figured that it was just going to be someone just basically running their mouth and giving medical terminology words and all of this type of stuff, to where it probably would have flew over my head a little bit. But I enjoyed the meeting. So we started out first talking about 7 tips to avoid overeating during the holidays. The first one is don't go to a party starving. I know that a lot of people do that. They figure that because they're going to be going to a parties or a gathering or a get-together that they're not going to eat. That actually sets you up somewhat for a fall. If you can have, like, maybe, you know, make sure you take your protein shakes in the morning. Eat a little something. You don't have to overeat breakfast because you are going to probably go there and, you know, eat. They talked about things to choose, you know, at these parties. Try to get in more vegetables and then your proteins. Try to stay away from the starches, meaning like candy yams and mashed potatoes and white rice and stuff. And if you don't feel like, you know, your family member or the office party or something that you're going to, either take a snack with you, take a protein bar with you, take some fruits in a Ziploc bag or vegetables in a Ziploc bag, so you can eat a little bit before you indulge into anything else. What's good for me is I don't really celebrate the holidays like that. We don't have office parties. I work in a nursing home, so they don't really have parties. They did have a Christmas party, but I just didn't go to it. You know, I work with these people all day. I mean, all night. I don't want to hang out with you during the day. But you can incorporate a small snack of protein before the event, like Greek yogurt, turkey and cheese roll-ups. Protein helps satisfy your appetite and helps you eat less. So keeping that in mind, it'll be like a first step not to overeat at these functions. So the next step was to use smaller plates. I've heard this a lot. I've even watched a lot of videos to where some people are buying like the little children's plates or saucer you can use to eat off of. Maybe like a little cake plate or something like that, just so you don't have usually when you do have a big plate or you eat with a normal size plate, you tend to put too much food on your plate. And so that was a really good tip for pre-op and like for people who already had the surgery and people who haven't. I haven't had my surgery yet, so that's a really good tip. With me, I usually eat out of the normal size plates in the house, and normally that usually leads to overeating. But so a good thing that to do also is decide what you want to eat first. Like, I know that it could be overwhelming going to these parties and having these big buffets and stuff. Just decide what you really want to eat in mind so you don't overeat. Like, you know, keep in mind that you want to keep your vegetables first. You want to do your protein second. You can have a snack. Maybe if you're going to indulge into snack, I love banana pudding. I love cakes and stuff. You can still have that, but maybe have it like a little portion of it. Make that be the last thing that you eat, or just opt out for not eating it. The next step number 3, was avoid eating directly out of a box, bag, and bowl. And that one really, when I heard that step, that really gave me, it just like a light bulb went off, because I do that. Normally if you eat anything out of a box, it's usually fast food, it's usually processed food. If you're eating anything out of a bag, it's processed, probably chips, cookies, any type of thing like that, or a bowl. Usually like the little oodles and noodle bowls and all of that type of stuff. It's just best that you try to frame your mind into not eating things like that. And that was a really, really good point. And with eating things like that, it's hard to do portion control, because if you buy, like yesterday I had Popeyes, I had 3 strips, and I like the mashed potato and coleslaw. Now, of course, it was packaged in the box, so it would have been better off if I would have took it out the box and put it on a little saucer plate. I probably would not have eaten the majority of, well, I didn't eat everything, I split it with my daughter. But doing things like that will help you from not overeating. That was a really, really good tip. And that really made me just made me, realize that for future purposes, like before I eat anything, remove it out of the box, or don't have box stuff, because it's usually processed food. Also, going to these office parties, they also said that to stay away from the food tables. That is a really, really good tip. This is the same idea as out of sight, out of mind. You won't be constantly tempted to nibble or graze. I'm a grazer. I love to nibble on things, probably just to have the action of me picking up something and placing it in my mouth. If you stand by these tables and you're having a conversation, you're really not paying attention to what you're eating. You're having a conversation, and then, you've noticed that you've eaten more than what you probably would have had if you would have, sat down and enjoyed your meal, or not stand by the buffet table, because it's a long line of food and you normally want to try and to nibble off a little bit of everything. And try not to have like conversations and discussions in front of this table too, because once again, you not really paying attention to what you're eating. And going into this surgery, they also talked about just really trying to break the old habits that you have. And it's so easy to stay on those bad habits, because we became so accustomed to doing so many things for many, many years. I know me, I get accustomed to sitting in my bed eating instead of sitting at the kitchen table eating. Eating on the go, I do that a lot. Or, even when I'm working, sometimes I'll have something that's really close next to me that I can nibble off of, or I'll have some candy in my pocket and I can nibble. Those type of things are habits to me, and I know that I have to not do those things, because I have to consciously make a decision not to choose better things to eat. And also to sit down and enjoy your food. Once again, standing and chatting takes the focus off the food and make it easier to lose track of what you're eating already. We've already went over that. So that's really true. Take your food and sit down. Enjoy your food, Take your time and eat. And then the last step was don't eat and drink together. That's something that I'm used to doing, but what they say is to drink something, wait about 15-20 minutes before you start eating, or vice versa. So I just really took a lot of notes on that aspect. And also, going to these office parties and, family gatherings, you normally tend to go to the eggnog and the creamy drinks and the alcohol. Alcohol has a lot of calories. One drink can be about 400 to 500 calories, depending on what type of drinks that they're mixing, if they're adding milk to it, if they're adding cream to it. And I like, I don't drink a lot, but I like eggnog. that is a lot of calories. And then if you add alcohol to it, that's more calories on top. I like the Kahlúas, and you know, with the Kahlúas you add milk and you add rum and all of this type of stuff. After a while, that really does add up. And if you're going to these office parties and you're drinking and get drunk, you normally tend to overeat, you know, so pay attention to that also. So those was the 7 tips that we went over at first, and then people had a lot of questions afterwards. And then we had 2 speakers, which was really good to see someone that sat in the same position where we were at. So they had 2 speakers. The first speaker, he spoke about his journey, that he started his journey out and he was 400 and something pounds. This man looks amazing. An older gentleman at that. He expressed that he started right after the surgery, exercising, getting into support groups, walking more instead of taking the bus and the cabs. Just changing the little things that you do can make a big difference in your journey. He also talked about chewing your food. You know, I can, you know, eat food and not really taste it, but just having the comfort of eating something. I don't take the time to chew my food. If you take the time to chew your food, it can digest more and it'll fill you up more. They said that to learn how to eat food, which is basically portion control, chewing your food, sitting down at the table and enjoying your food, going to the gym, listening to what your nutritionists are giving you examples and, you know, advice and things to do and not to do. They also talk about dumping. You know, that's like if you're eating certain things or you overeat or you eat something that your body's not adjusted to, sometimes you'll have to, you know, bring it up. He expressed that he has not even had that problem because he chooses food well. He has very small portions and he eats a couple of times throughout the day instead of sitting down having one big meal of breakfast, one big meal of lunch and dinner. He breaks his food down throughout the day, which is a really good idea. What else did they talk about? They talk about the 5 aspects. One of the points that he said was losing friends and family members, losing supporters. You're going to have people in this journey who is not going to agree with what you're doing, and that's okay. But if they're not there to support you, then you need not to have them around you, because that can somewhat sabotage your journey through this. Like if someone is in your life and they don't want you losing weight or something, they might throw donuts your way. Oh, one little donut won't help, or one little cookie won't hurt you. And you know, once you start on that bandwagon, that's just like telling an alcoholic, oh, one drink ain't gonna bother you, which common sense wise, no, that's not the right thing to tell an alcoholic that one drink won't hurt him. You know, so just make sure that you have supportive people around you, people that's not in your life, that is not there to support you. You can, you know, you probably don't have to break off contact with them, but you can separate yourself from them. What else did they talk about? Picking the right foods, scheduling your meals out, preparing your meals. Maybe it'll be good that if you prepare yourself to maybe have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a certain time, or your snack at a certain time each and every day, so you can get accustomed to it. But also switching out your type of things, because I know I get bored with eating the same things sometimes, and there are a lot of things out here that we can't eat but you also can eat. So maybe going to the library and getting a cookbook about something healthy, going on the internet, finding healthy recipes that can incorporate protein, vegetables, fruits, you know, just trying out different type of things, you know. So, and he also talked about his confidence level. He was even made a joke that he was at the gym and the women are trying to talk to him now, which, you know, that kind of made us laugh too, because he is a much older gentleman, but very good looking too. So what else they talk about? After surgery, walking a lot, making sure that you get your vitamin intake each and every day. It was just a really positive support group. They had the other speaker there, and he was 580 pounds before starting this journey, and he looks amazing. Just staying positive. I know sometimes it could become discouraging, especially being in this position as to where we haven't been on the other side or have not joined the loser's bench. So, you know, just staying encouraged. Keep people around you that are positive. Keep people around you that will support, you know, that is being supportive of what you're trying to do. They don't have to agree with what you're doing, but this is your journey. This is your life. This is your decision. This is going to make you live longer and be healthier and be happier. So that was basically what the meeting was for today. I really did enjoy this meeting. I can't wait to go to the next meeting. It was just like a couple of things at this meeting. You know, some people, you know, going to these meetings, I wish people would kind of take it a little bit more serious, meaning that just make it to where like you're either going to a meeting at your job. So certain things that you wouldn't do at your job, don't do at these meetings. Like these meetings, I don't understand people bringing their children. You know, the children are talking, they're running around, they're disturbing the class. You know, find a babysitter, you know, before you have these come into these meetings, because they distract the meetings. You know, turn your phone off. Like, I could not believe that she had to make a big announcement to these grown-ass people to cut their fucking phones off. Like, that was just so annoying. Like, put it on vibrate. When I walked into the meeting, I cut my phone off automatically, because, you know, it's just so rude to have your phone going off. I don't know. But it was good to talk to certain people. I met a lady today. She had the lap band and she's going in to have the gastric sleeve. The lap band didn't work, so she's going in to have the gastric sleeve. It was a lot of people in there that already had their surgery dates, and that got me excited. I was like, I can't wait to say I have my surgery date. I still have a long way to go, but I really enjoyed this meeting. And it was a fun process. It was a learning process. And I look forward to the rest of the meetings. So that's what this video is about. And I will talk to you muffins later. Bye.